Hello people, it's Gino here from realeverydayenglish.com. Today we're going to speak about the words remember and remind, okay? Because from what I can see when I'm having my language exchanges, non-native speakers of English tend to have a little bit of confusion surrounding these two words. So if you fall into that category, we're going to help and clear that up for you today. Let's do this. Happy Sunday, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is well. Here in the UK we have a long weekend this weekend. It's a bank holiday weekend. A bank holiday is usually a Monday. Well, it's always a Monday unless it's Good Friday or something like that. But usually it's a Monday and it means we don't work on that day. So tomorrow is Bank Holiday Monday, so we have a long weekend. The weather isn't too good. We have had some good weather just recently and the weather is still quite nice today, but it's really quite chilly as well. So I won't be spending too much time outside today. I'll be spending most of my time in the house. Got plenty to do. I've just painted my front door and I've got some other things to do. But I thought I'd take a break and make a quick video for you people. So as I said in the intro, the reason I'm covering this today is because I've had a few language exchanges just recently. And when we're speaking in English, a lot of people seem to have a little bit of confusion surrounding the word remember and remind. Now, when you make an error with remember or remind, the native speaker is going to understand what you're trying to say, okay? It's not like you're not going to be understood. The person you're speaking to will understand what you're trying to say. But to give you an analogy, do you know when you're listening to somebody play a musical instrument? So you could be listening to somebody play a guitar, and if that person hits a wrong note on the guitar, you hear it straight away. You know that something's not quite right, but then you continue to enjoy the song. And it's much the same with this particular mistake. If somebody uses remember where they should use remind, you know exactly what they're trying to say, but it's like that missed note where you go, something doesn't sound quite right there. So we're going to help you clear that up today, or should I say I. Don't know why I'm saying we, there's only one of me. But I'm going to help you clear that up today. So what I'll do is I'll break down remember, the two main uses, and then I'll break down remind, the three main uses, and then at the end I'll tell you what personally I think the difference is, okay? Okay, so let's look at remember. Now there are two main uses of the word remember as far as I can see, okay? So the first one, and this definition sounds really complicated, but it's actually really simple, okay? It's just the dictionary definition. So the first use is to have in or to be able to bring to one's mind an awareness of something or someone from the past. Okay, now that sounds incredibly complicated, but it's incredibly easy. It just means that you're able to bring to your mind something from the past or someone. So to give you an example, let's say in the past I nearly got run over by a car and the car was coming towards me and I managed to jump out the way, okay? But the thing that alerted me to the car coming towards me was the horn. If I was explaining this to somebody, then I could say something like, I can remember the sound of the horn as the car came towards me. So you're able to bring to your mind the sound of the horn, okay? You'd use remember in this situation. You wouldn't use remind. You can't say, I remind the sound of the horn as the car came towards me. No, it doesn't work. The person would know what you're saying, but it doesn't work. It doesn't sound right. Another example is, I remember the look on her face when she realised that I had eaten her cake. So if you've eaten your friend's cake or your wife's cake, she isn't going to be happy. So I can remember the look on her face when she realised I had eaten her cake. So that's the first main use, okay? Is to be able to bring something to your mind from the past. Easy. Number two, the second use of it. Do something that you need to, have agreed to, or have undertaken, okay? So basically, do something that you're obligated to do for whatever reason. So, let's give you an example. If you're living with your wife or whatever, let's say I'm living in the house with my wife, tomorrow is bin day, so it's the day when the council come and collect the bins and take your waste away. I'm going to bed first and my wife is going to follow me up. I could say something to her like, remember to take the bin out before you come to bed because it's bin day tomorrow. And that means that the bin men are going to come and collect the bins and take the waste. But I don't want to use the word remind. I'm informing her that she needs to do something. She's obliged to do something and telling her that she needs to remember it, okay? I've just committed the sin of using the word that I'm trying to explain in the explanation, but I hope you understand. Okay, so to bring together the word remember, the first one, remember, is to be able to bring to your mind something from the past, easy. The second main use is to do something that you are obliged to, so to do it, okay? Now let's take a look at the word remind, okay? And as far as I can see, there are three main uses of this word. So the first one is to cause someone to remember someone or something, okay? So in other words, if you don't remember to do something that I've asked you, I need to remind you to do it, okay? So it's to cause to remember because you won't remember on your own. So, example, I have to remind my daughter to set her alarm for school every night. Second use of remind. Now, this is the one where I tend to hear people use remember instead of remind, okay? And this is how we use it. So it's to cause someone to think of something or someone because of a resemblance, okay? So because there's a likeness to something else and it reminds you of that, okay? So to give you an example, there are two kinds of cake here in the UK. There's loads of kinds of cake, but there's two kinds of cake that are very similar, okay? One is a Christmas cake. It's a dark fruit cake with white icing on. And the other one is a wedding cake, okay? Which is a dark fruit cake with white icing on. They both look the same. The only difference is that a wedding cake tends to be in tiers and a Christmas cake tends to have Christmas decorations on it, okay? I could say something like, Christmas cake always reminds me of wedding cake. And it means that because there's a similarity between the two, one reminds me of the other. You wouldn't say, Christmas cake remembers me of wedding cake. No, we don't say that. It's remind, okay? So remind is when something makes you think of something else because there's a resemblance between the two. Okay, and the third one, which is very similar to the first one, okay? It is to cause someone to fulfill an obligation or to take note of something, okay? Now, when I read that, it probably doesn't mean much to you. It doesn't mean anything to me, and I'm a native speaker. But basically what it means is it's very similar to the first one. So, perfect example, at the moment here in the UK, when you're going into a shop or a supermarket, you need to have a mask on, a face covering, okay? Because of the COVID-19. So if I'm walking to the shop, I walk in through the door, I don't have a mask on, then the person who works in the shop will have to remind me that I need to wear a mask. So basically, they are causing me to remember that I have an obligation, and we would use the word remind in that situation, okay? So pulling all of that together, it's very simple when we just go through it point by point, all right? So the difference, in my opinion, is that remember simply means the ability to bring something from your mind into your mind from the past, okay? Or to do something that you've been obligated to do. Them two things. Remind, the difference is that remind is one of the main uses is if you don't remember to do something, then I need to remind you, okay? So it's to cause someone to remember. That's the first main one. And then the second one is when something is similar to something else and it makes you think of that, you use the word remind. And in a nutshell, that is basically the difference. All right, that's it for this week's video, people. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. Don't forget, keep practicing, keep having your conversations. I'm in the same boat. I'm learning a language as well. I need to keep going, and I make mistakes all the time as well. We all make mistakes. It's the only way we can ever learn. I make mistakes in English. Just ask some of my friends, you know. We all make mistakes every day. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. This video is just trying to help you sound a little bit more natural when you speak. If you did find it useful, please share it far and wide with your English learning friends. I'll see you people in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye for now. Ciao.